Zendy, you are my first guest. Thank you for joining me today. So here's how we are going to do the interview. We're starting with 1 minute biography from yourself. You tell us about you, who you are, what you have done, whatever you want for 1 minute, or you can go a little bit further. I will cut later. And then after we have 3 different sections. We have a question about entrepreneurship, more personal questions maybe about what are your a question to yourself, what are your routine, etc., and what do you want to share to people about coronavirus or about anything else that you would like to give as advice. Okay, so I'll let you start with your 1 minute bio.
All right, okay, sure. Anyway, thanks Reza for having me. I guess a little bit of intro of myself. My full name is WINZENDY, which is actually the only name that you can. I'm the only person with that name, so it's very good family. So cool. I used to study in Seattle, and that was a long time ago. I went there during the .com era, the first .com era on year 2000. So I actually experienced the whole .com crash while I was there. I saw a bunch of my friends actually got fired from the .com business. And when I came back in 2004, I started as executive like in a smaller company, and then I started my first company on 2008, which was actually an internet business. Serving like digital marketing and development for a lot of businesses, and that was 2008. And then in 2012, the company actually got acquired by WPP. So that was actually one of the biggest deals that I actually experienced in my life. I continued to work there until 2016, and then that's when I decided to kind of left that business, and I kind of wanted to explore new things, and that's how I kind of started YUNA Co, which is something that I'm doing right now.
What makes you want to become an entrepreneur?
I think I kind of know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was, I mean, this is like a surreal story, but it's actually true. So on my 19th birthday, I actually walked home from my college in Seattle, and I was like, the first thought, okay, what do I want to do with my life? And I thought to myself, like, I don't want to be just doing things regularly. I want to be able to create something that would leave like a footprint for the next generation. Something very grandeur and all that. It was actually very idealistic. I was young, but I realized at that time that I want to build something. And I want
to do. So you already saw your company one time. Your first company, so this is, I guess, it's a big success.
I think I wouldn't even say that. I think that's just like part of business. But I think one of my biggest joy, one of my biggest success is actually when I see people who used to work for me are actually able to kind of like be successful in their future career. I see people who used to work for me and they started from their internship time, and now they're working as like high-level executive in like the unicorn companies, in bigger FMCGs. I think those are the successes that I can actually feel proud of, and I feel like that's how I can leave my legacy. Biggest mistakes or failures that I've experienced is always, again, if my success has to do with other people, failure also have to do with other people, right? For me, it's actually finding the right partner. I've actually have hired or worked with the wrong partner. The person didn't really have the same vision, the same drive, as I did or as the rest of the company did. And what happened was that it actually drove the whole company in a very weird direction. There's a lot of unnecessary drama. It sets our timeline back by a few months. There were a lot of anger in the company. People were divided, and it happened only because it was the wrong person. As soon as that person left, suddenly things very quick and speedy, way. It's just so I think as an entrepreneur or for any kind of thing as a human being, right? I think it's all about choosing the right people to work with or to partner with. I think that's the most important.
Yeah. This is one of the challenge that all entrepreneur and even in any company we face, that is finding the right person. But in a startup, you have to find also not only the right people for the job that you are offering, but also the right people for the spirit of the startup, spirit of the company, because that's too in a corporate life, in a big company, that doesn't apply that much. But in a startup, in a small team, in a small company, it's even more true. So just maybe there is advice there, or learning how you manage that situation with your wrong employee or wrong partner.
So I think one of the biggest learning is skill is something that you can always learn, right? So I think it's important for your partner or whoever it is to have skill, right? But the moment that person already think that they are the best or they're the smartest person in the room, that could be problematic. So I prefer to hire people now with the right heart. Skill you can learn, right? So how I recovered from there after he left the business, we basically that's the most important time, is actually to gather everybody in the business. I actually set up a time where I actually told the whole company, okay, this is the direction that we want to go to. Okay, it seems like having this one person leave could be problematic, right? But it's actually not, because we are actually want to go to this place, right? So this is the clear mission, this is the clear goal that we want to go to. Let's just go there, okay? Let's remove any unnecessary drama or unnecessary things from our mind, and just focus on that thing, and we'll see what's gonna happen, right? And we actually did achieve that goal, in less than 3 months, and that united the team even more. We became really become one organization together.
Yeah. So today, what is your biggest challenge? What?
Well, outside of COVID-19, not so much. I think challenge is just gonna be constant, right? That's what being an entrepreneur is. You face challenges. If you don't have any challenge, means you are not, moving forward enough. And every time you move forward, you find new challenges. Like when we were handling 50 orders, and then we started handling 500 orders, and then we start handling 1,000 orders. Every milestones always have new challenges, and those are just operational challenges that are actually very exciting for me. But I think the biggest challenges I mentioned are things that you cannot control yourself, right? I mean, like COVID, you cannot really control. Challenges that has to do with other parties, such as investors or other partners. Those are things that you cannot control. So those are probably the bigger challenge than business.
Yeah. If you have 1,000 orders, that's a good challenge.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy with that. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So YUNA Co is basically a styling as a service company. We provide a platform where customers can go in, and we will match them with the right personal stylist. I mean, what does personal stylist do? So for people who doesn't want to get overwhelmed with the choice of fashion, who doesn't really know what to pick, or they don't even have time to actually buy things themselves, or have been disappointed with the fact that what I buy on e-commerce doesn't really come back as what I expect. That's where we come in. We actually help sellers to basically find the right fit and fashion, and give you personalized fashion advices, so you don't even have to worry about styling yourself anymore. So that's what we do. So our ideal customers are very simple. We actually currently we are only service. We provide our service only for women. So a majority of customers that we are serving are people who really have no time for themselves. They are either very busy professionals, or they are a stay-at-home mom, but they don't even have time for themselves anymore. But everybody wants to look good, right? Everybody wants to feel good about themselves. So what we do, those are our ideal customer. We want to help them. We want to give them the right kind of fashion. We want to be able to kind of give a little bit of happiness and a little bit of confidence for themselves. So that's our ideal customer. Obviously, our customer base will kind of like increase over time. Even during this COVID-19, we are actually kind of taking a step back and kind of like want to take a look again to our customer base and see whether we can actually expand and help more people, align with our company. Because our company mission is very simple. We want to spread confidence and happiness for every life moment through personalized styling. Right? So it's very simple. And right now, our life moments are stuck at home during this COVID-19. So how can we we still want to deliver confidence and happiness even during this kind of time. So we need to kind of take a step back. We want to see what other value, what other products that we can actually offer to our customers during this kind of a period.
Yeah, because in this period of COVID-19, even people are stuck at home. Maybe they are not that busy as they were before, because before they had probably events or things like that they don't have anymore. But they still. Yesterday, I was participating in a webinar, and then all these ladies who were there and who were presenting something, they were all super well dressed, makeup, the hair was done, but they were at home and they were not going out anywhere. But they were just perfect, and this is I think is one of the great thing about Asia, and especially in Indonesia, is that people like to dress up. People like to really give a good impression and be always presentable. This is really a great thing about Indonesia.
So our measure of success doesn't change before or even after COVID-19, because our main traction, our main metric that we value very high is actually how accurate can we style our customers. So our metric is called match number of styles, right? So definitely even during the COVID-19, although you can probably guess that revenue from every sector are taking a hit, right? But we can actually see that the number of styles that we provide for customers actually grow. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy. Customers are still going into our platform. They engage with us. They actually still ask for fashion advices. And I think that's a measure of success a little bit for us. Obviously we want that to translate to revenue, but at the current stage where people actually prefer to buy food, right? We don't force that, But as long as we still deliver this kind of styles that are matched into their preferences, that can actually make them happy, make them confident for themselves, then I think we've done our job. That's our core, that's our core mission, and we want to be able to kind of keep delivering that. Obviously, we'll offer a lot more things in the future soon.
To give insight and to give advice to the new entrepreneur or to wannabe entrepreneur, did you raise any money from investors already?
We already raised our angel round. So we are always constantly raising fund. I think that's the thing about being a startup. But we already closed some. We are pretty blessed about that. We have some. Yeah, we have some really great investors who are really backing us, even during this COVID-19. They've been asking updates, they've been very supportive and asking us on how we're doing, how can they help. So yeah. Advice. So cool. Now is like the worst time to basically fundraise, because with the whole situation, investors are very scared to actually put money in, because if they're actually putting money now, it's not for growth, right? It's to sustain, and that's definitely one of the most difficult things to convince people at the moment. If you are running a health company to solve COVID, then you probably are in the right place right now. So it's pretty easy to fund. But if you're in any other sector, it's probably going to be a very tough time right now to fundraise. But I think what I learned from my previous investors is that it's all about transparency. It's all about how well you can connect with your investor, whether they have invested or they have not invested. How regular you can update them, give them regular information about how you're doing. Give them exciting news. You have challenges, tell them what your challenges are. It's all actually about communication. It's all about transparency. So keep doing that. In regards to where, though, it depends, right? I mean, what depends on what kind of sector you're in. There are always investors who are more centered in different kind of sectors, right? I mean, like there are people who are very much concentrated in or focused in retail. There are those are in health tech, prop tech, or in different kind of sectors. So you need to do your homework and basically research what type of investors that you need.
Yeah. Do you have a mentor? Do you have a board of advisors, or is it your investors who are also your advisors?
I have a few people that I really just value for their advice. I would anytime I would just call them, hey, I find this kind of problem. I want to build this and this and this. What do you think? And every once in a while, I would get a slap in the head, and they would tell me to just focus back. I think that's the real importance of having a mentor or an advisor, right? To tell you, not to tell you what to do, but to tell you what not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs like myself, we are ADD, attention deficit disorder, right? We like to try new things. We like to do new things, and having somebody to basically refocus you is the most important thing. And every one of my investors, I treat them as my mentor. But outside of it, I'm also kind of to talk to other entrepreneurs as well. I think it's always important to basically communicate with other people that you can trust. You can actually confide in. I mean, being an entrepreneur, it's a very lonely journey. You actually stand on top.
Yeah.
You have investors to be responsible to, but you also have a lot of people who are dependent on you. So you want to talk to other entrepreneurs that can actually support you mentally as well. So I'm in multiple different organizations. Not officially, but I was actually part of the Alibaba eFounders program. So we actually connect every once in a while, and I also communicate with other entrepreneurs who belong to the same investment group. So we would actually combine in together.
Some personal, more into yourself. What is some personal questions that will not go too much in detail. Don't worry. Your family, your wife, your kids, your sexual orientation or religious orientation. We will not talk about this.
Sure. All right. Okay.
Like what the fuck? What did I do? Or where I'm going or something?
Okay, so I think there are quite a few, right? I think the biggest question is, am I doing things right? I think that's my biggest questions every day. I mean, when you become an entrepreneur, you want to be confident, but at the same time, there are times when you feel insecure as well, right? I mean, am I doing things right? Are my numbers going up according to my plans? So every morning when I wake up, that's actually one of the first few things that I ask myself, okay, what I'm gonna do today. Are, are all my numbers last night still kind of like on track, and what am I going to do today to improve yesterday's numbers? So it's actually almost like a freaking ritual for me every morning. So every morning, it's not. I wouldn't recommend this habit. It's not really healthy. But I wake up, I open my laptop. That's the first thing I do, and I would just basically check on all these numbers. Again, not a healthy habit, but it gives me some sort of comfort. Every morning, I don't have a lot of ritual. It's really just all those things. I check on my calendar. I need to know like what are the things that are due for that day. I keep it simple. Because I already know what I want to do for that month, right? So as long as I kind of keep track on a daily basis, then I'm pretty okay. These days, I try to kind of balance between my mental illness, as well as my, work. So every actually, it's not really a morning ritual, but actually every like evening around like 5 or 6, I would actually like do a jog every day. Yeah, it's actually very important to do like those small little rituals every day. Just for you to take kind of like your mind off everything and just refocus on just yourself for like about 30-40 minutes, and that's enough, right? So if you want to build a ritual, I don't think you should build a ritual just for your work, but you should build a ritual for your own mental healthness. I think that's actually very important for a lot of I get asked a lot on every like event, and it's like, what's your advice on winners? I would ask them to basically rethink if they want to do this or not. Okay, no, because being an entrepreneur is it's not it's not about fame and glory. Sometimes you will think that it's the quickest way to be rich. That's a foolish way of thinking. You gotta be driven by a sense of purpose, by a sense of value, right? I think that's what an entrepreneur is all about. And you don't really need to be the smartest guy in the room. That's what a lot of people think, and mistakenly think that entrepreneurs are smart people. We are not. We are basically people who has a lot of nerve and guts to basically do what we're doing. But being smart is not so much. We actually hire people who are smarter than us, and we gotta be humble enough to actually admit that there are people who are smarter than us that can actually help us to achieve our dream, right? But yeah, so it's all really about guts. It's really about how important it is. How confident are you to be able to achieve that goal, right? And you don't think that you can sustain that kind of confidence for a long period of time, don't do that. Otherwise, you're just gonna crumble somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Any additional things that you would like to share?
Visit YUNA Co. So take a look.
It was a pleasure to have you as my first guest. I really appreciate your help and your support. Really, thank you very much. And it's not the first time that I have your support. So thank you for also your friendship. And please download and see what they are doing. And it's really, really great. They are doing a great job. Don't forget.